Welcome to Urban Greens, your go-to channel for discovering the hidden wonders of nature right in your backyard. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of stinging nettles, plant often avoided but packed with incredible benefits. From identifying these prickly greens to unlocking their culinary, medicinal, and even historical secrets, this story will change how you see weeds. If you enjoy learning about nature's treasures, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and press the bell icon so you never miss a story. Share this video with friends who love the outdoors, and let us spread the joy of urban greens together. We love to hear from you. Drop a comment below to share your thoughts. Let us know how you liked the video, and give us ideas for future content. Your feedback helps us grow and create better stories for you.
The forest was alive with the chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. Young Mia had been wandering through the woods behind her grandmother's cabin when she stumbled upon a patch of greenery that made her pause. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary cluster of weeds, but something about it felt purposeful, almost ancient. "Careful, child," came the familiar voice of Grandma Eloise, who had appeared silently behind her. "That there is stinging nettle, a plant that can bite but also heal if you know its secrets." And so began Mia's journey to understand one of nature's most misunderstood gifts. Mia gingerly extended her hand toward the patch of nettles, only to feel a sharp sting as her fingers brushed against the leaves. She yelped and drew back. Grandma Eloise chuckled. "They don't mean to hurt you, but they'll remind you to respect them. Let's learn how to identify them properly before you get stung again." Grandma Eloise knelt down, her practiced hands careful not to touch the plant directly. "Stinging nettles," she began, "are easily recognized once you know what to look for. Their leaves are heart-shaped with jagged, serrated edges. The stems are square, that's a hint. They're part of the mint family and they're covered in tiny hairs that look soft but contain a sting. If you see clusters of small, greenish flowers hanging like tiny bells, you've found yourself a mature nettle." As Mia listened, she leaned in closer. "How do they sting, Grandma?" Eloise said, her eyes twinkling. "Those hairs are like tiny hypodermic needles. They break when touched and release a mix of histamine, formic acid, and other chemicals. That's what causes the sting. But don't be afraid, child. That sting has its uses too." Over the next few days, Mia became something of a nettle detective, inspecting every patch of greenery she came across. Eloise explained how stinging nettles thrive in damp, nutrient-rich soils and often grow in clusters near streams, forests, or even abandoned fields. "Why do they sting, though?" Mia asked one afternoon. Eloise thought for a moment before answering. "It's their way of protecting themselves from being eaten by animals. Think of it as their armor." But humans, clever as we are, have learned to look past that defense. Grandma Eloise then pulled out an old book from her shelf, its leather cover cracked with age. "This," she said, "is where our story gets even more fascinating. Long before we had pharmacies, people turned to plants like nettles for medicine, food, and even clothing." One sunny morning, Grandma Eloise handed Mia a pair of gloves and a pair of scissors. "It's time you learned to harvest nettles," she said. Mia hesitated, eyeing the plants with a mixture of awe and apprehension. "Won't they still sting me?" "Not if you respect them and use the right tools," Eloise assured her. "Always wear gloves and use scissors or a knife to cut them. Choose the young, tender leaves near the top, they're the best for eating. And always say thank you." "Thank you?" Mia asked, puzzled. "Yes, thank you," Eloise said firmly. "It's important to show gratitude for what nature provides." As Mia clipped a handful of nettles, she felt a strange sense of connection to the plant. "What now?" she asked. "Now," Eloise replied, "we take them to the kitchen and transform them." In the cozy warmth of the kitchen, Eloise showed Mia how to handle the nettles to neutralize their sting. Boiling or steaming them for just a few minutes will do the trick, she explained. After that, they're safe to eat and full of nutrients. They work together to make nettle soup, the earthy aroma filling the room. Eloise added potatoes, onions, garlic, and a splash of cream. When it was ready, Mia took her first tentative spoonful. To her surprise, it was delicious, rich, slightly nutty, and wholesome. Nettles are packed with iron, calcium, magnesium, and vitamins A and C, Eloise said as they ate. They're a true superfood. Mia's eyes widened. So they're not just weeds? Far from it, Eloise said with a smile. They're a gift. Beyond soup, Eloise explained how nettles could be used in countless other recipes. You can blend them into pesto, bake them into bread, or even use them as a substitute for spinach in almost any dish. And dried nettles make a fine herbal tea that's both soothing and nutritious. One evening, after Mia had stumbled and scraped her knee, Eloise reached for a jar of dried nettles. Let's make a poultice, she said. Mia watched as Eloise crushed the dried leaves and mixed them with a little water to form a paste. Nettles have anti-inflammatory properties, she explained, applying the poultice gently to Mia's knee. They'd been used for centuries to treat wounds, joint pain, and even arthritis. Eloise also taught Mia about nettle tea's ability to ease seasonal allergies, improve digestion, and support kidney health. It's a natural diuretic, she said, and a great way to detox the body. Over time, Mia learned how nettle tinctures could strengthen hair and how nettle-infused oils could nourish the skin. Each use felt like uncovering another layer of the plant's magic. Eloise even demonstrated how nettles could be used to make natural dyes a soft green for fabrics and yarn. As the seasons passed, Mia's respect for nettles grew. She learned to dry them for tea, ferment them for plant fertilizer, and even spin their fibers into thread. Eloise taught her how nettles had been used historically to make everything from fabric to fishing nets. Imagine, Eloise said one day, a plant that can clothe, feed, and heal us. Isn't that incredible? Mia nodded. It's like they're a gift from nature that we forgot about. Eloise shared stories of how, during times of scarcity, nettles had sustained entire communities. In wartime, nettles were used to make uniforms and ropes when cotton was scarce. They're tougher than they look, and they teach us resilience. Years later, Mia found herself walking through the same woods with her own daughter. Spotting a familiar patch of green, she smiled and knelt down. Careful, she said, that's stinging nettle. A plant that can bite but also heal if you know its secrets. Her daughter's eyes lit up with curiosity. Tell me more. And so the cycle continued. For Mia, the nettles were no longer just plants. They were teachers, guides, and a connection to the wisdom of those who had come before. The legacy of nettles. Stinging nettles, despite their initial sting, are a treasure trove of possibilities. They teach us patience, respect, and the value of looking beyond the surface. Whether you're harvesting them for food, using them for medicine, or simply admiring their resilience, nettles remind us of the incredible gifts nature has to offer. In addition to their culinary and medicinal uses, nettles play an essential role in supporting biodiversity. They provide habitat for butterflies and insects, and their presence often indicates healthy, nutrient-rich soil. Even their sting has been studied for potential therapeutic benefits in conditions like arthritis. So the next time you see a patch of nettles, don't rush past. Pause, observe, and maybe even say thank you. Who knows, they might just teach you something too.